So, we look at the factorization, another method today, and we're going to consider factorizing a difference of two squares. Factorizing a difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. A difference of two squares, what are we talking about? Okay? When we're given something like a squared minus b squared, this is called a difference of two squares. We have got a square and a square, which is two squares. The difference is this minus here. Okay? The difference. You know that the difference is the answer that we get after subtraction. Okay? So that is how do we factorize such an expression? That is what we're going to look at. How do we factorize such an expression? Okay? So if we expand these two factors, if we expand the factors, if you expand these two factors, going by the method of simplification that we did, you are going to discover that this, when you multiply this one by this one, and you also multiply this one by this factor, you get exactly what is here. You'll discover that this one is going to give you, okay? That is what you are going to get. So, these are the two factors that are multiplied in order to get this one. Try it, it will give you this expression, okay? Try it, it's going to give you this expression. So, that is what we're supposed to know, all right? So, what we're saying is that this expression has the two factors, and those factors are a plus b, and as well as a minus b. And what I'm saying is that when you simplify, expand these two factors and simplify, they'll give you this one. So these are the two factors for this expression, a difference of two squares. Okay? A difference of two squares. We've got these two terms that are squared here, and we get the answer like that. So you make sure that you've got a difference. Here we should have a minus, and then the two terms should be squared. Okay? That is what we're going to get. That is very important. That is very important. That is very important. So we should make sure that we achieve that. So, if we can look at examples, on how to factorize the expressions using this method, okay? Of course, the question is factorize completely. So we have a x squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. What is expected of us here? X squared minus 4. We know that this one is squared. We have a minus here, which is a difference. And this one is not squared. But then, when you look at it, it's a perfect square number, meaning it can be rewritten into some number squared. Okay? So, we're going to have x squared minus, this one is going to be written as 2 squared. We want to achieve this format, a difference of two squares, which is this one here. And once we get to this point, we are saying what our factors are going to be will be the first one you get, we're going to have two factors here. So the plus minus, okay? These, once they have been squared like this, the factors, we're going to have x, this one, even here to be x, and this side it will be 2, and then this one it will be 2. This is what we're going to have. Okay? We have a difference of two squares. This is very simple. Okay? This is very simple. Alright? So, if we look at b, we are going to have 9b squared minus 9b squared minus 16. Alright? Factorize. If you're in grade 8, you can say, it can't be factorized, or the only thing you can factorize is 1, because that's the common factor. That is the common factor. But in our case, because we're preparing for grade 12 exam, and these methods are taught to us, we are supposed to examine at this and then say, how do we simplify this one? So we look at the numbers, okay? How can we rewrite these numbers so that we have a square? So we know that this becomes 3 squared. Then we have b squared minus, this one becomes 4 squared. At this point, okay, at this point, this is just the same as 3b squared there minus 4 squared. So we have a difference of 2 squares here. We have a difference of 2 squares, and we can write our final answer as we have 3b plus 4. Then this side we have 3b minus 4. Okay? This is what is expected of us. This is what is expected of us to do. Alright? So, it's as simple as this one. So, let's look at this one. C. 5 squared minus 5. 5 squared minus 5. Oh, how do we do this one? Alright? So, when you look at this one, 5 is common. 5 is common, so it's like we need first to factorize the 5 which is common. We factorize 5 which is common here. I'm going to remain with x squared minus 1. Now, like I said, for common factor methods, you can call this the end of your answer. But now, we are looking at another method of factorization, a difference of 2 squares. So we check what is in the brackets. We have x squared minus, can this number be written to something squared? Okay? The answer is yes. We can have, I don't know if you are able to see here, let me bring it here. We can have 5x squared minus 1 squared. This one is written as 1 square. So in the brackets, we have a difference of 2 squares. In the brackets, we have a difference of 2 squares. So meaning now, when we want to write our final answer, we are going to have 5x plus 1, close, open brackets here. We have x minus 1. This is what is going to be our answer there, okay? This is what is going to be our answer there. The same thing, I'm trying to give you as many examples as possible. The same thing is going to happen if you've got something like, let me give you this one. 18 minus 8. Okay? This is our D here. 18 18 w cubed minus 8. What do we get? Okay? What do we get there? Okay? So, when you look at this one, first we're going to look at 18 and 8. What is, do we have, yes, we have a common factor there. We've got w, we also have w. So we can factorize this one firstly using common factor method. Here, our common factor on 18 and 8 being 2. W, we have w cubed, and we have w also there. W is common. Okay? What do we remain with here? 18 divided by 2, we get 9 minus 4. Okay? This is not all. This is not all. That is what we're supposed to get now. This is not all. So we are supposed to make sure that at this point, we now introduce this method, a difference of 2 squares. A difference of 2 squares where we're going to say now 2 W. How do we write this one? This is going to be 3W squared minus squared. Okay? This, we need to square here so that we have everything squared. Okay? This 2 applies on 3 as well as on 1. Okay? So if we want to expand this one, it will take us back to that one. So at this point in the bracket, we have achieved the difference of 2 squares. In the bracket, we have achieved the difference of 2 squares. Okay? So now we can finally write our answer as 3W plus 2. Then here we say 3W minus 2. Okay? This is what is going to be our answer. This is what is going to be our answer. Alright? Let me give you the last example. Let me give you the last example. Which could be E. I like giving examples made up to 5. Alright? So if we can have something like 1 over 100 minus 1 over 100 minus 25 over y squared. Okay? Minus y squared. Just to make sure that even here I can say x squared. Okay, so look at this one. Under this one, what the difference? So we need to look at which method do we use here? Okay, which method do we use? So this is why we are saying you need to look at the numbers that were given. You ask yourself a question: is there a way? First of all, you don't have a common factor that you can factorize, then you begin to check. So straight away from the given numbers, you examine, you check. Do we have a common, do we have these numbers? Can we write them in some format so that they become squared numbers? The answer is yes. So for 1, it is 1 squared. 1 squared is the same as 1. 1 times 1, we get 1. Over 100 is 10 squared minus 5x squared over y squared. This is, you square 5 to get 25. So at this point we have squared everything. If you want, you can go further and simplify this as 1 over 10 squared minus 5x minus 5 minus 5x over y squared. So this is the difference of 2 squares here. This is the difference of 2 squares here. So we can finally write our answer. Finally write our answer as 1 over 10 plus 5x over y. Here also say 1 over 10 minus 5x over 1. Okay, this is what will be our final answer. This is what will be our final answer. Alright, this is what will be our final answer there. Now you take note that sometimes when you look at this part, it's a fraction here. Okay, it's a fraction here, so don't be distracted. There are times when maybe they'll ask you to say factorize this one. They convert it into a decimal number. They convert this one into a decimal number. We know that 100 into this one, it can't, so it will be 0 point. Again, into 10, it can't. Okay? Then, so they'll say factorize this one. Minus, they write this whole thing as it is here. 25, x squared over... So the first thing that we're supposed to do this one is to convert back to this one in the manner that we can easily simplify it. This is what you get to. So questions can be asked in various ways. So take note of this one. It is the same as this one. So we just have to make sure that we know what we are supposed to do. Okay? It is the same as that one. Same as that one. Alright? So let me show you something that you can do. You can do, or let me give you something that you can do. Factorize completely. Factorize completely. Of course, we are using this method here. Here we have 9 minus 36. All right. B C should have 12 y3 minus 3y. Okay. Then D, we can have 2x squared minus 50. Okay? Minus 50. Right? The last one, which is E, we can have x squared over 9 minus 81 y squared. Okay, so these are the questions that we have to try just for our practice. If you look at the past papers, you're going to find some of these questions. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel so that each and every video that I post, you're able to see it immediately. My target, like I've said, is that by July, before people write their exams for GCE, I should have posted most of the work that people may need to pass their exams. Once again, thank you so much for watching.